Okay, I just wanted to talk about the book Taoist Yoga and Alchemy and Immortality. And this is a book I've been reading off and on for 35 years, probably. Oh, wait. Yeah, 35 years. And it's a very complicated and confusing book because it combines Buddhism with Taoism, and so it uses the term vitality for qi, and then it uses the term the term fire is sort of a catch-all ambiguous term. And then so there's certain things to like cross-correlate, and I do this using the search engine. So for example, the term essential nature is a Buddhist term, but it also, in terms of Taoism, it means the sun as golden light and the yang, shen. But the Taoist book says the problem is that a lot of spiritual traditions just have descent of positive fire without ascent of positive fire. And so the yang shen is it's descending as the sun, which is also the heart as an essential nature. But it's also important to realize that that's also Yuan Qi. And so what happens is the Yuan Qi it normally goes out of the eyes when the eyes are open. And so when the eyes are open and you're not meditating, then the heart has the incorporeal soul, or hun soul, that goes out of the eyes. And so that is a yin shen, or yin spirit. But when you turn it around and have it descend, then it is positive fire as a golden yang shen. But what happens is that since it's also yin qi, then you're adding the yin qi back down from the liver down to the to store in the lower dantian, which is the elixir field. And so you have to, once you restore the yin qi, then the moonlight will manifest, the white light, and this means you've added enough yin qi back into the yang qi, or positive vitality, to then manifest the moonlight. And this would be like a kundalini awakening. And so it happens due to the descent of the positive fire, and it's considered the first half of the alchemy training. And so then at first you see a white light outside of your head. And this is the level I achieved where I saw spirits and auras, and then if you keep turning the light around so you have this descent of the positive fire, then you also, by practicing the small universe meditation, which is the focus of this book, then you have the ascent of the positive fire, and that's the positive vitality, or the Yang Qi. So it has substance. So the Yin Qi would be like in your blood, but it's experienced as like a tingling or buzzing or chills. But in terms of science, it would be negative ions. And so so the key then is, in Taoism, is you have to maintain the celibacy of what they call spirit vitality, which would be the Yuan Qi. So once you have the ascent of positive fire up the spine, that's the positive principle. And the positive principle means you're now combining the generative force, which is the Jing, or life force, which would be your electrochemicals. So that would be like lecithin, which makes up the cerebral spinal fluid, but that's also the basis for celibacy for males. And so then, so the younger you are, it's easier to then restore your Yin Qi, to then start building up the Yang Qi. And by having the descent of the positive fire, the Yang Shen, then you're combining the Yin Shen, which is the white light that manifests once you restore the Yin Qi. And then you're so you're combining the Yang Shen with the Yang Qi, and you do that by rotating your eyes when the positive principle, which is the generative force, combining together the Yang Qi and the Yang Shen. And so the left eye is the Yang Shen, but it's also the Yin Qi. And the right eye, it's the sun. And then the right eye is the moon, as the Yang Qi, but it's the Yin Shen. And so when you rotate the eyes, then you start to create the golden light in the white light. So you have to build up the white light enough. First of all, you have to keep building up the Yuan Qi, and you store the Yuan Qi in the lower dantian, which is, the book says that the front channel of the small universe goes into the middle of the intestines. So that corroborates what I've been claiming about the lower dantian being actually the small intestines. And so the small intestines have 100,000 neurons, so they have more neurons than the heart. So then when the Yuan Qi is then activated, it's only maintained through the purification of the of the Yang Qi, which has substance, which is the kundalini or the cerebral spinal fluid. So then if you keep building that up, then you start to create what's called the golden nectar or the golden elixir. And this is the positive principle, which means that your brain fills up with the cerebral spinal fluid, but when you're rotating your eyes, then the yin shen and yang shen are combining together, and you then create the Yuan Qi through this golden elixir that then you swallow as what's also called ambrosia. And it's not saliva, but you keep your tongue against the roof of the mouth. And when you swallow it, it creates great heat in the pit of the stomach. And at this stage of the practice, you have to do fasting to purify the Yang Qi. And so at this stage, you'll experience very strong magnetic fields that pulsate the center of the hands and the center of the feet, and the top of the skull gets soft and the fontanelle opens up again, and you start to do astral travel, and but you can only do this by maintaining the positive principle. So you're unifying the Jing or life force, which is like the electrochemical energy, with the Yang Qi, which would be like the positive ions in the body. But the Yuan Qi is actually from this what they call fa shen or Wan Shen, which is the light of no light, and that's like the virtual photons, and the virtual photons have a magnetic moment as gravitational mass, and that's what causes the anti-gravity from meditation, and also the transmutation of matter. And so it's also called the golden key of superluminal yin matter in by the Zhonggong Qigong school. And so so this is what they mean by the spirit vitality being the positive principle as prenatal spirit and prenatal vitality. So they talk about nature vitality and life vitality. And that's another way of saying the nature vitality is the yin qi, but it has the yang shen when you have the essential nature as positive fire. So you are, by meditating, you're redirecting the heart and as a internal organ, and you're turning it into the sun as the yang shen, which then will manifest eventually as a golden immortal body if you eventually just kept meditating. And the yin shen would manifest as red light impurities, and then the yang shen has blue light that is seen internally, but then externally it's seen as golden light. and this is only maintained through concentration of the mind as on a single focus of the light of no light, the Yuan Shen or Fa Shen, which would be the same as listening, an eternal listening process. And so that's why they call it the absolute void from concentrated thought based on spirit. So you're emptying out the thinking, and then you're turning the light around as the so you see like this blue light internally, but then externally it's a golden light, but it's relying on this process of the light of no light. And then eventually your physical body would vaporize, and all that would be left would be this golden immortal body of spirit vitality. So when it vaporizes, it would just be pure Yuan Qi, and then the golden body would be the Yuan Jing, and then the light of no light would be the Yuan Shen. And so what else is confusing about the book? It talks about the negative fire, because when you're at first you have to build up the yin qi, and so you have the generative force, which is actually the yin qi, but then you can also have generative fluid, which would be yin jing. So the yang jing is actually what they call the positive principle, is actually it's yang jing as yin qi, and then when you build that up, it's the positive fire as yang qi, and then it's merges with the yang qi as the yin shen. But when you keep unifying, you begin to unify all the different layers. So then you have the when you keep adding more yin qi to the yang qi, then the yin shen gets purified into more yang shen through that process. And so in that sense, all the different layers are interwoven and combined. That's why it's very confusing. And then most people, when they meditate, they just have this descent of the positive fire from the heart as a sun, but they and then they restore their yin qi, because that's the hidden aspect, the hidden vitality of the essential nature. But it's only when you restore and purify the yang qi from the celibacy that then you are able to completely restore the yang shen of your essential nature. And that's the only way you can then maintain the connection to the Yuan Qi through the Yuan Shen and Yuan Jing, when your physical body gets vaporized or destroyed eventually, then you're able to leave your physical body behind, and then maintain this eternal, golden, immortal body. And if you don't do that, then you have what's called ghost pollution in Taoism, which means that you're you become a yin shen, because the hun soul is the incorporeal soul that leaves your body when a normal person leaves their body. But because it's a yin shen, that means it has the yin qi and yang qi blockages in it, and so that makes it attached to the earthly level for reincarnation, from being a ghost. And unless, you can meet some kind of spiritual master who's able to then release your yin shen back to the yang shen, golden immortal level, by clearing out the yang qi and yin qi. Well, it would be yin qi blockages, because yang qi has substance, but it's the yang qi is what enables you to then build up the yang shen. So when you're in your body, that's why it's all interwoven. But when you leave the body, then it's the yin qi and yin shen, unless you've done enough meditation work. And so what happens is that you have to combine these different layers all together, and it's all based on your purification through meditation. And that's why the only way people can do it successfully is if they go to like a remote area, and preferably where there's already been spiritual masters that have achieved the results, because then they're able to clear out all the ghost pollution in that area. And that's what Qigong Master Chen Yilin does. Is the ghosts come to him to get healed, and I saw this happening, and so that's also like an exorcism of what happens to people around them, because we pick up these influences without realizing it. And anyway, it's the problem is that as soon as we start breathing, then the Yuan Qi splits into this yang qi and yin qi, and the yin qi is the basis of our thinking. So we have the heart with our thinking, so we lose connection with the Wan Shen and the original spirit. And so when we restore the yin qi by the descent of the positive fire of the yang shen through meditation, then we're able to access the Yuan Qi again, which is an impersonal like ether of reality, and that then manifests the Wan Shen, which we then see externally as this like yellow white light, and internally it's like it's yellow, so they call it the yellow sprouts or yellow quartz. And that's like our spirit that when we meditate, that's the positive fire. But then as we build up the energy, in that white, yellow light, we start to see it become more red and then gold. And eventually, I haven't reached that stage, so, but when the eyes are open, then it's like red light, and that's why they call it the red dragon. But when the eyes are closed, and it returns to the liver, and so it's called the green dragon, because it's the purification of the Yuan Qi to then add it back into the Yang Qi, and through that purification we empty out our thinking. We just focus on the source of the light. We listen to the source of the light as spirit. And so that's when we start to see blue light, and the blue light is from that concentrated thought that empties out the thinking and just has a logical inference as listening. And so the blue light represents the start of that positive fire with the concentrated thought of harmonizing with the earth. So you have the heaven as the positive fire, and then the earth as the water that you put the fire under the water, and then you create the steam as the Yuan Qi. That's the basic principle. So the heart becomes as fire, then becomes sun, and then the yin qi is the moon as the yin shen when the yang qi then manifests. And so that's why the blue light is when you're building up the yang qi, and then you're starting to purify it, and eventually you see blue light internally. But then, so the blue light's connected to the element of the water, so it's called the black tiger. So the goal is to turn the black tiger into the white tiger, and then the red dragon into the green dragon. And so when you combine the white tiger with the blue light of the concentrated thinking, which would be like the spleen and the pancreas, or just the stomach, then the water of the kidneys, then with the white, then it's, and the green from the liver, then and then the yellow, manifests, and so that's how the colors are all interconnected. Somebody asked me about this, and so that inspired me to research this again. And so anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Let's see.